the SIPs and the STPs for the small cap fund towards the end of March. So, do we see, for Q1 going ahead, would we see any kind of change in dynamics in terms of the SIP flow, considering that that particular fund would have been attracting a considerable amount of flows? So, wanted to understand from that point of view, how should we think about for going ahead on our overall, say, SIP flow book? That is the first one. Second is, in terms of the competitive intensity in the industry, how are we seeing the payout levels and, are we, in order to garner business, do we require to pay out a little bit more to the distributors? If you could share what the current, what are you seeing in the landscape right now? And if you could also give some color on where would be the flow yields vis-a-vis the stock yield, particularly in the growth-oriented segment. And thirdly, also, given that we have been focusing on the HNI segment, and that in this particular segment, the distribution happens through slightly larger distributions in several distributors in several cases, can that also have a impact on our overall realizations as we go through them? So these three questions, sir.
So I think I'll request Saugata Chatterjee to take the first question on the split from the small cap, and I think the competitive advantage, but I'll come back to that after that.
Yeah. So on the small cap piece, though we have put in restrictions and twice we have brought in restrictions now. The good part is, in the past and even after the second limit introduction, our SIP inflows have primarily been in the less than 10,000 rupee bracket perpetually, wherein 75 to 80% of our SIP investors do come in that space. And hence, after introduction of the new limit also, we haven't seen any sizable reduction in our flows, which is what has been our strength historically. Whenever we have built the SIP book in our system, especially in the small cap fund, it has been in the smaller ticket space. And on the other side, we are also, actively now, like we had mentioned in the previous call, we are seeing sizable inflows in our other schemes, like the multi-cap fund, large-cap fund. We have the value fund. There are multiple funds wherein we are getting now good inflows, which is sort of de-risking our, tilt towards small cap. And I think going forward, this will be the way we will, plan our business on the SIP side.
Understood, sir.
First part, yeah.
The second one, I think the competitive pressure coming because of new AMCs doing higher brokerages and all. I think the way we see it, I think as stated in past, our focus remains on profitable growth. We do not want to get into any price war. I think we are very clear that I think for us, overall AUM is, while it is important, but profitable AUM is more critical. And that's exactly the reason to also mix it with the second question. We'll continue focusing on retail part even more, while HNI market share continues to grow for us, but retail we believe is more sticky and more profitable and more difficult to build, and also remains more sticky. To the extent, I think, since we talked about the small cap fund earlier at this, so you'll be happy to know, I think, while there have been restrictions on small cap fund across the industry, and also for the month of March, February over March, industry saw an outflow of about 4,000 crores. But while we are the 25% of the industry size, what the outflow that we saw was only 2% of the industry, because we are very, very highly retail, and the top 10 investors in our small cap fund constitute less than 1%. So the retail adds stickiness and profitability, and our focus will remain to execute, to go the difficult way of building business, which is retail, small ticket size, more sticky and more profitable from a long-term point of view.
Right, sir. Sir, any indication on the flow versus stock realizations? What are we seeing right now?
So we did not disclose this this data, but you can safely assume that the yields on the stock would be higher compared to the flows.
Understood, sir. Just, I think that has been the trend over the last few quarters. Just wanted to understand that has the delta how the delta has moved? Has it kind of widened or narrowed? If you could at least just.
See, for us, as Sandeep mentioned, that we want to be on a profitable side of business, so probably we have not increased the payouts as such. So our yields on the new business have remained constant. Okay. And as mentioned last quarter also, we have rationalized our distribution cost in one of our larger schemes, and this would help us in maintaining our margins on the new cost of acquisition, new cost.
Okay, got it. And lastly,
just to add, if you see the behavior of our net sales, which is what we articulated in the opening speech, we have a much healthier net sales than the industry, and hence our old assets are still, intact, which is giving us better margins always.
Understood. Sir, just last one quick question. When you mention about the HNI segment in your disclosures, is that on the basis of how AMC defines the HNI segment?
Yeah, very much. Yes. 2 lakh plus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Shreya Shivani from CLSA. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity and congratulations on a good set of numbers. Most of my questions have been answered. I just wanted a clarity that on the staff cost, did you mention that it's the major increase that will happen next year onwards will be on account of ESOPs and not really any addition to the staff count, right? I should assume the staff count to remain at the 1,000 level for the next foreseeable future, or will there be some additions on that side as well?
Yeah, I think your understanding is correct. I think probably the staff, number of staff will not increase substantially. I think other than the fact that in the subsidiaries we may add someone more to grow our business, to invest in acquiring certain skill sets. But broadly your understanding is correct. And the overall mutual fund business, today there are 1,000 plus, that number will not change substantially.
Got it. And just also on the admin cost, is there anything, the pickup for the last two years has been strong on this cost. Is this in line with the growth in business, or was there anything incremental that has happened?
Yeah. Hi, Shreya. So Amol here. So on going back on that employee cost, so there would be normal increment that you would see in the employee cost, so that would be there. On the admin cost, probably the run rate would continue, and this is mainly due to the investment that we are making in our digital assets and and probably we may add some branches in this financial year, but that would not have a major impact on our overall. Because it will be the smaller citizen towns, the smaller. We are already 263 locations, so the smaller citizen towns, the cost will not be high.
Got it. Okay, this is useful. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Lalit Dev from Equirus Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, just one question. So, what will be the ESOP cost for this year and in this quarter as well?
So you're talking about ESOP cost?
Yeah. What was the ESOP cost for FY24 and as well as quarter 4?
Yes, it should be. So what I mentioned, the expected cost of the ESOP for over a period is going to be in the range of 85 to 90 crores. Of that, 50% of the cost would come in this financial year.
No, that will be for FY26. I was asking for FY24, in the current year cost.
So in FY24, the ESOP cost would be around 7 crores.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Madhukar Ladha from Nuvama Wealth. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. Can you comment a little bit about our flow market share, how that has been? Q2 was very strong. In Q3, there was a little bit of moderation. So Q4, I wanted to just get a sense of whether that is sustaining or not. And you just mentioned the ESOP cost number for this year. Can you just repeat that actually?
So yeah, on the flow side, Q3 and Q4 continues to be in the similar range. So, from an equity net sales point of view, we are in the double-digit space still. And like we had mentioned earlier, and Sandeep did mention, small cap, large cap, these are certain categories where we have been able to continue to have higher double-digit net sales. And when we take the entire year into aggregate, we also conclude the year with a high double-digit net sales market share for the full year.
Great. Congratulations again. And on the ESOP cost number for FY24, can you repeat that?
Just to clarify, all these net sales, what we mentioned is X of arbitrage.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay. Hi, Madhukar. So, Madhukar, on the ESOP cost, there are 2-3 things that probably you need to consider. First is that we have come up with the ESOP grant after 3 years of period, 3 years. So, the last ESOP which was given was in 2021. So that's why the ESOP cost for FY24 was only 7 crores. However, this year would be substantially higher given that there's a fresh grant that is happening. And also this would help us in retaining the talent, and that would help us in ensuring the fixed facility cost does not increase beyond a certain limit.
Sure. Thanks a lot, and all the best.
Thank you. To ask a question, participants, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone phones. We have the next question from the line of Ronak Singhi, an individual investor. Please go ahead. Ronak, your line has been unmuted. You may proceed with your question.
Yes, good evening. Congratulations for achieving this highest operating profit this year. So my first question is, given the increased marketing spend aimed at attracting the younger generation alongside with your growing investment in maintaining the data lakes and all in the artificial intelligence space to analyze the investor behavior, I would really appreciate if you could provide a breakdown of the SIP contributions by age group, young versus old generation, because I am interested in understanding the percentage of SIP contributions coming from the young investors versus the old investors, since this marketing campaign is being targeted towards the younger generation more.
Ronak, I think if I could understand, your voice was a little faint, but I would like to just share with you a lot of things that you mentioned we are using internally, where the artificial intelligence, demographic features, and how to market to our investors, And I think one of the reasons for our strong sales, our digital presence, is that because that cannot happen manually. So we have been using a lot of these tools internally. And to the earlier question which was asked by one of the earlier questions, where I think the future investments, I think this is an area we'll continue investing for in future also. We do not give breakup of the age background of all our investors and SIPs in the presentation, but I want to share with you we use it for business for sure.
Okay. So my next question will be, so since you said the number of staffs has been increased, but I can see a slight reduction in the employee expense cost on Q1Q basis. So is it due to outsourcing?
So it is mainly due to the PLI provision that we keep on doing on quarter-on-quarter basis. So that could be the reason for that. Reversal of provision.
Pardon, sir, I cannot hear you.
So we keep on reviewing our performance incentive quarter-on-quarter, and based on the numbers, we keep on adjusting the provision. So the downside could be because of that.
Sir, pardon, can you please repeat, sir? Actually, your voice was not audible.
I think there's some challenge here and here.
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Ronak, you have a bad connection. The line for you is not very clear. May I request you to please use the handset while you're speaking?
Okay, sure. I just want to clarify that what provision are you talking about because of the reduction in the employee expense cost basis?
So this is basically the performance incentive or the bonus that we give out to the employees. So this we keep on reviewing quarter-on-quarter basis, and based on the management estimate, we keep on adjusting for that. So the decline in quarter-on-quarter is due to that reason.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question comes from the line of Bhavin Pandey from Athena Investments. Please go ahead.
Hey, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Bhavin, please go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations on great set of numbers. Just sort of wanted to understand what sort of growth are we looking at both in the MF space and in terms of alternate space as well, in terms of any numbers, if you could give out in terms of AUM growth.
I think we will not like to comment on the future growth. I think we believe we are in a sunrise industry. The industry will continue doing well. I think as a management team, we believe our job is to continue to execute, and our focus will be on profitable growth. So I think I do not want to, I think because it will be unfair to put numbers, at this point of time, because ultimately this business is also cyclical because of the capital markets. A lot of things keep changing. And the reason of saying this is because I think when we look to the future, we should be conscious of the fact that market cycles also have an impact. Mark-to-market revenue, everything that we do has, So this year the business has been good. There has been very strong tailwind of the markets, and I think we've executed well. So we'll continue focusing on execution and focus on profitable growth.
Okay. Secondly, in terms of product offerings, is there anything on cards, both especially on the MF side, sort of to maybe offer more products in large or mid category?
So from our product suite point of view, we have a very good product suite at this point of time. We do not see ourselves, if you have seen over the last 3-4 years, we have not been coming out with NFOs. I think we believe, to focus on our existing schemes and scaling them up. Having said that, in the passives, we will continue launching few themes which we believe can help the investors from a long-term point of view. But pure active mutual fund, I think our focus will be to scale up and capitalize on the great fund performance and the track record that we have and build on the existing schemes.
Okay, that was really helpful, and good luck for the year ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have no further questions, ladies and gentlemen. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sirs.
Yeah, thank you for coming for the call.
Thank you. On behalf of Batlivala and Karani Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you all for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.